Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Outer Rim Rambling with myself, the Outlaw Adam Neeson, joined as always by my partner in crime, the Jedi Knight, Danny Brown. Danny, what did you have for your dinner, mate?
I had a chicken burger with
Mm.
lettuce and mayonnaise and a cheesy gravy chip
From a chip shop.
from a little chip shop in Markfelt called Snack Box. That is a Middlesbrough establishment, and it was truly delicious. But I 100% know it's going to wreak havoc on my insides later on this evening.
I see. You'll be making your own gravy chips.
Oh yeah.
I see. I had a Nando's because I'm just that sort of man.
Mm.
And
Was it
here's what
cheeky? Yeah.
here's what I was thinking when I was eating it. People always say, "Oh, what spice do you go for?" Doesn't matter because it's all chicken at the end of the day. But what sides do you go for? And we'll also ask our guest this in a second. There is a
This
guest. Don't
is
worry, guys.
Yeah, we will. I know we normally our preamble is very much got very foodie recently, but
Mm.
yeah, the sides are really important. What's your sides first? Tell us, regale us. What sides did you get this evening?
I'm a Perry salted chip man with a long stem brock.
Oh, okay, okay. I also am a vegetable boy. I'll get the peri salted chips as well,
Mhm.
but the vegetable I be going for is the macho peas. That chili with a little bit of mint.
Mm,
Oh, powerful stuff.
man.
Mhm.
Let's get into the important questions with our guest today. TikTok superstar. And today he's in our room, but today joining us is Jack from Jackinhisroom. Jack, sir, what is your Nando sides?
Do you know what my Nando side is? I basically am still a child and I get double chips.
Here,
I mean,
you
it
can't,
can't be some chips.
you
Yeah, yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
I
getting a
I
dip
like
with it?
to overload on them carbs. I love a chip, and I'll
Mm,
get double every
mm.
time.
And then
Yeah.
what is your heat? What is your
My
favorite?
heat is medium every time,
Mm,
every single time. I do like a little bit of spice, but I like to enjoy it as much as I can. You know what I mean? I don't like to go too spicy, so it's always medium, and then I'll do half a chicken and
mm,
double chips.
mm.
Nice. Nice. Do you ever deviate into a wee mashed potato just to vary up your
Never.
spud?
I actually never change it. It always stays the same every
Yeah.
single time.
I will sometimes go from the macho pea to a mashed potato if I'm feeling a little bit extra Irish, but I'll get the medium spice as well, but then I add some of the medium garlic dip as well. I'll put that over the
Oh,
top because you got to get that garlic hit too, you know.
yeah, definitely.
I'm hitting the saucy wings at the minute, and I'm just
Oh.
look like a big animal by the end of it.
Just throwing bones around
Yeah.
the Nando's and all, yeah.
Like a cartoon character just sucking them and having a full bone come out.
Flick them away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Jack, you are one of my favorite TikTok people. I love, I
Thank
just
you.
because you come on, you say you're a man in your 30s, you love Star Wars and you love collecting stuff, which to me and Danny is right up our street.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, and then we get to see all the treats that you get to get, and it it makes me very happy. So I'm glad that you've come on the show because I want you to personally know that your Instagram makes a lot of people happy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I just like making videos on stuff that I like. I just
Mhm.
love Star Wars, and I feel like I'm already like collecting all of this stuff and buying lots of stuff. So I think I might as well just talk about it. And I like to ramble on about the things that I like. So it just kind of works out nicely, really.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, me and Danny have sort of because we've started playing Star Wars Unlimited, the card game,
Oh, cool.
and you sort of buy a pack to open, and the part of you is like, I should make this into content to show
Mm.
people, but then the need is too much, and we just open them and then show each other.
Yeah, just tear
Yeah.
them all up and then send what's us being like, what leader did you get?
Yeah, I haven't played Unlimited, but I am really into the Galaxy cards. I love them so much.
Mhm.
And it's quite a recent thing as well. Like because last year I was kind of like I feel like everyone was getting a little bit of Pokemon here and there. And then I sold all the Pokemon up because I thought I don't care about it. I care about Star Wars. So I started collecting the Galaxy cards and it is a massive obsession of mine right now.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I actually
we
have.
talked to Joe Coroni a couple of months ago, and he is one of the artists um
Oh, amazing.
for the Galaxy cards, but he was also one of the artists back in the day for the original Tops Star Wars
Wow.
cards. And him talking about like working for Lucasfilm and like sort of having free reign, but then also having to get approval and stuff. But
Yeah.
like the card sort of boom at the minute is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I've been speaking with an artist, Jay Manchard. He actually sent me over some of his cards, which was really nice of him. And I'm always seeing on his story him painting the cards. He's got like a
Mm,
massive, crazy Star Wars room, and he's always in there painting the cards. And I just think that must be the best job in the entire world. It must be so fun
yeah.
that your cards are actually, used by Star Wars. It must be crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I seen one of your recent videos where you're showing his cards as well as a couple of the other numbered cards you have, and I think
Mm.
one of the cards is Obi-Wan versus Maul from episode one. I think that may have been one of Joe's pieces
Yes.
on there as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, just when you were saying there, I just reached behind me and grabbed a couple of like the early
Yeah. Wait, I've got some.
Galaxy
Let me get mine as
sets.
well.
Yeah. Show off your toys. Show off the cards.
This
Mm.
is a podcast for it's an audio medium,
It's
but
an audio medium, but
we,
we're showing each other our
we
We'll
get
cards.
explain them. We'll
treats.
explain them. Yeah, I have. I mean, my collection isn't huge, but I've sort of had. I've only really just started it in the last like maybe 2 months. So my collection isn't massive, but I've been trying to just collect things that I really love the artwork on because I don't really know too much about all of the different sets and the years. I'm still very much learning that,
Yeah.
but I've managed to pick up a few things recently that are. I just love them so much. I think the artwork's so nice on them. Like this one here. This is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful.
So that's the Lord Vader, and it's the 25. I love all the numbered stuff.
Yeah. It's even
That is,
mad how good the quality has got. Like looking at that more, the more recent stuff, even compared to say like these ones. Like these ones are
mm,
lovely and have that sort of nice gloss finish, but that there's almost like proper like plastic gloss finish to like
yeah,
standard of what Tops was putting out before with the Galaxy stuff was
mm,
great. It was a high end collector card, but like just that the desire for collector cards has grown so much that they're like we need to put out like a far better, nicer product. So the
hmm
stuff you were sharing and like the different variety of cards, there was a fantastic Sebulba card that you showed.
yeah,
And I was just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, look at that. And it does make you want to get into it. How do you find collecting them in the UK though? Because Tops and Star Wars Galaxy, they're not as easy to kind of come by here. Like you've got to go online basically if you want any of it.
Yeah, so I haven't been able to find any in person anywhere. I've actually never opened a pack either. I've only ever bought ones like I buy them off of eBay and off of Vinted. And there has been some that I have ordered from America, but on a whole, like, I've never actually opened a pack. But the packs are so expensive as well. They're like 25 quid for a pack. So I'm very much thinking like I'm happy just to buy the ones that I want. But if I saw them in person in the UK and there was a pack right in front of me, you're damn right I'm buying it.
Oh, the
I
big
wouldn't be able
god.
to stop myself.
I know it used to there used to be a Toys R Us store in Belfast before Toys R Us went bust and closed down, but
Yeah.
you used to be able to get like proper packs of Tops trading cards in there, and it was the only
Mm,
place in Northern Ireland you could get them. And then when that
wow.
was gone, that was it. Just any opportunity of getting those sorts of collector cards. The only other time I've got them was off the Tops website. I got a set of the Mandalorian like
Oh,
show
nice.
cards with like the wee descriptions on the back, and they came in like this nice little case.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, yeah. I've seen the ones in the case. That's
So
cool.
I was just like, I need to get, so you get 10 like scene picture cards, but I was like, I need those. I
Yeah.
want them.
Yeah, you got to. I really missed Toys R Us back in the day. I was thinking about that recently. The displays that they used to have in there with all of the figures,
Mm.
it was just amazing. The one that always gets me because I'm 30, so when Phantom Menace was out, I was only like 5. But I very much remember Revenge of the Sith, the rollout of all the toys and everything from there in Toys R Us, and that whole. I feel like when I die, that's where I'm going to go. Is
your,
there?
your heaven will just be the Toys R Us Star Wars aisle. Yeah,
100%, yeah. And I can
Toys R
have
Us
all the
was
figures I want.
what would be so looking behind you, I can see you have a couple of Phantom Menace
Mhm.
figures, you have a couple of the vintage collection figures, some of the Revenge of the Sith stuff. But is there a particular figure that you've yet to get for your collection that you're keeping an eye
Yeah.
out for?
Yeah, so there's it's on eBay. I think it's still on eBay. Someone was selling it. I think it's 2010 and it's the vintage collection Darth Vader, but on Mustafar Duel, obviously before obviously he's like Nightfall Vader at that point still, isn't he? So that's like my absolute grail action figure. I want that so badly. And I've told myself if obviously like in the next couple of months, if I do well with everything, then I'm allowed to buy myself it. It's
Yeah.
because it's quite expensive. And I don't actually have any of the they're all 2010. I don't know 100%, but the vintage collection ones that they brought out for Revenge of the Sith, I'm pretty sure they're 2010. Um, I don't have any of them, and I really want them. They're all like really expensive, aren't they? But I really want some of them, and that Darth Vader one, and it specifically says Darth Vader on the backing card as well. So that's the one that I really, really want.
Yeah. And would you, I'm going to assume just looking at your background, are you an in the box collector? Is he going to stay
I am.
pristine in his box?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, yeah. I do. The thing is, I've got like I do have figures that are out of the box and stuff as well. But I like when I was a kid, I had so many of them when I was a kid, and I went through that sort of stage when you kind of get to a bit teenager and you're like, I don't need any of these toys anymore. And obviously, I've got rid of them and just passed them on to like other people, like in the family or something. And they were all out of the box. And now that I'm a bit older, I just love them being in the box so much. And the thing I don't like I love the figures as they are, but I also love the boxes. So I love to like my whole room is filled with stuff on the wall, same as yours. And so I like to be able to display them and look at them. That's how I get the most joy out of them. So I am very much in the box collector. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam and I would be generally out of the box, but there's a few things that I'll keep in the box. I've got down there the vintage collection Ahsoka Tano Mandalorian figure. I kept that
Yeah,
in just because I
nice.
really like the Rosetta Dawson
Yeah.
image. And then I've got behind me the Life Day Chewbacca vintage
Oh
collection figure.
wow.
I kept that one in the box. So there's a few of the backed. In fact, I've got the Captain Fordo Arc Trooper Gindi Tartakovsky Clone Wars Black Series figure,
Oh,
but in
amazing.
the
Oh, cool. Yeah.
proper like old style packaging from that time from
Yeah.
2003. Because I was just like, yeah, that reminds me of the figures I had as a kid and the taking out the box. And like you said, that phase where you're like, my phase wasn't, I did keep a lot of my figures as a teenager. It was whenever I was moving out of my mum's and I was like,
Yeah.
I should probably sell a lot of these and have a bit of money for moving into my own place.
Yeah.
So I sold off a big whack of the collection, and there's so many of them now that I'm like, oh, why did they
Yeah.
do that? I can't believe, I got rid of my Gindi. I
Mm.
got rid of my Gindi Clone Wars figures, and now I'm raging about it. But I seen in the background of one of your videos, you have a few of them
I
still in
haven't.
the
Yeah, I
card
can
back.
show
So
you
I'm
them
like,
right here. I've
oh,
got so out of the original, the actual Cartoon Network releases, I've got a Sarge Ventress, I've got
mhm.
Anakin, and then I have Obi-Wan as well. I want to get them all, but then I do have the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, the Black Series General Grievous. I have that as well. But they're the only older ones. I do want to collect them all, though. I want them all.
Yeah, I had that Anakin and I had the Dirge
Mm,
and I had the Yoda from that line. But I keep seeing on eBay, I'm sure like yourself, you probably have your eBay algorithm perfectly set up to recommend like peak
hmm.
Star Wars stuff. And every so often
Yeah.
I'll see the three commemorative figures for the DVD release of that Clone
Yes.
Wars, that
Yeah,
box
yeah.
set. And I'm like, that'll every so often those will pop up for sale. I'm like, do I? Can I? Should I?
I think you should. I think you definitely should
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
It's
especially them. I
Maybe,
think there's something special about them figures because they're just there's none other like them, are they? They're so unique.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the like they're
do you,
needed. You should get them.
Danny, do you want to guess which figures are literally beside my bed that I look at every day when I wake up and go to bed?
Do you make them kiss good morning, kiss good night?
No, that's the only two figures I have in the box still.
Oh,
Can you guess?
um,
Oh, what is it?
the only two figures you keep in the box.
Now, they're both the same character, if that's a clue.
Oh,
Hmm.
I know, I do know, I do know, I know exactly who it is. It's Bail Organa.
It is, it's the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith Bail Arcanas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Pride and place in the bedroom.
they're your pride and joy. Yes, I know exactly that. And you still need to get more. I'm sure there's more Bale figures for you to get. Jack, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Who do you want to get the most figures of?
Oh, that's such a difficult question. I feel it actually changes quite often, to be honest with you, who my favorite character is. Because I think my favorite like era of Star Wars is the prequels by far. Like that's what I grew up on. Phantom Menace was the first movie I ever saw in the cinema. I feel like that is what I always rewatch is the prequels, and through into Clone Wars as well. And I think that Anakin is just always my favorite. I think, but recently over the past couple of months, like I feel like my appreciation for Obi-Wan gets more and more as I get older. I love him so much. So I would say that them two are my favorite for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. Obi-Wan is by far my favorite because I just think he for me is a character that I kind of look up to because
Mm,
despite all the trials he's gone through as a character, he sticks to his guns, he does what he needs to do, and he remains good despite it all.
yeah.
And I think especially with the Kenobi series, we see that even more so because of just what he's going through mentally, and then what ultimately has to go through physically in order to save a young Princess Leia. So, yeah,
Mm,
Kenobi would be my favorite, and then I just am in like awe of the clones, because to
yeah.
have these characters that are all meant to be the same person, but then give them such individual personalities and looks
Mm,
through their armor, and the stories that are created within the Clone Wars TV series, and even
yeah.
not created. Like, some of the clones that fascinate me the most are the ones that don't really have a lot of background, like Commander Bakara, Captain Fordo. Like, I'm fascinated by them. So
Hmm.
yeah, the clones generally always sort of tickle my imagination. Like,
Lovely. What about you, Adam? Is it Bail Organa? Is he your favorite?
Well, of course, he's a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Any sort of scoundrel, so any sort of Han Solo type,
Hmm.
but then like Hondo Ohnaka, any sort of
Yeah.
like Jedi's aren't my not cup of tea, but like I'd rather have like an Andor figure rather than
Got ya.
an Obi-Wan figure. But I still
Hmm.
collect them all. It's the thing
Mm.
about Star Wars. It's like when I was a kid, it was more about lightsabers and swinging lightsabers, and then when I got older, I sort of fell into that the cool guy who flies the spaceship, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to be. That's what
Yeah.
you you
I
like the
think that's
bad
one of
boys.
the best
it's.
things about it, though, to be honest. I love the fact that there's, and I know that people have varying different opinions. They hate this show, they hate this part of Star Wars, they don't like that. But I love the fact that there's something for everyone, and it doesn't matter kind of what part you are in your life. Like you said, there, like your opinion on things has changed as you got a little bit older. I love the fact that there's so many different factions and there's something for everyone. I think that's such a great thing. But I know that some people hate certain things. Like people hate the Obi-Wan show. I love it so
Mhm.
much. It's one of my favorite shows out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I get a lot of stick because I enjoy Rey.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with Ray. I think people just hate Ray because they want to hate her, to be honest with you. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with her at all.
Yeah.
No, we all know, like me and Danny always say on this podcast, we're a positive outlook Star Wars podcast, and we do have our gripes, but we enjoy talking about the good things rather than wallowing in the
Yeah.
bad because there's enough of that on the internet.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but with Rey, it's like when anybody talks to me about her, it's like sure her journey wasn't amazing, from like what we were promised. But the acting was great. The dialogue was great.
Mm.
Her relationship with characters were great, and sort of expanded universe stuff has been fantastic with her. And then the fact that we're getting more from her, like it's not. It's a great character to sort of latch onto because she is the central character that everybody revolves around.
Hmm.
It's not like she came in and took all of the boys' toys like the YouTubers seem to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people don't like that they think I think a lot of people don't like it because she's a girl, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people dislike that. But and I know I think it's easy to think like some of their movies weren't amazing. I really like Force Awakens. I don't love the other two, but it doesn't mean that everything in them is bad and all of the characters are bad and everything's terrible. I think there's great in every single Star Wars project. There's great in it, and obviously there's some bits that aren't amazing, but not everything in the world is perfect all of the time. It's not going to be. So I think it's a lot better to look at the positive side of things rather than the negative, which I think a lot of people do, unfortunately. But that's the way that it is, isn't it?
There's a bit in Rise of Skywalker, which isn't my favorite Star Wars movie, but there's a bit in it I think about daily, sort of to like from that Roman Empire thing. Which Roman
Mm,
Empire? There's a
yeah.
shot. It was in the trailer a lot, but obviously it's in the film. It's when Poe and Finn are running down a hallway, and Finn does a wee skip just over a dead stormtrooper, and I think about that
Oh
every
yeah.
day of my life.
I am not for the Ray hate at all. I like Ray. My girlfriend loves Ray, and her favorite Star Wars are the sequels, them three movies. That's like kind of what she was introduced to Star Wars with. So I can't hate on the sequels. She won't let me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
Keeps you balanced. Keeps it all
Yeah,
balanced.
exactly.
You
Keeps you
you
balanced.
you got that prequel love. She's got that sequel love. What about the original trilogy? Where does that squeeze into it all?
Love them. I do absolutely love them, to be fair. Like I love all Star Wars. Like I don't, and even though I said the sequels aren't my favorite, I still love them. I still watch them. But in mine, 100% is the prequels because I feel like where you enter Star Wars is just like that stays forever. It has for me anyway. Like that original, the prequel, sorry, that for me is what I love so much. But I do love the original trilogy as well. I think that my heart is just with the prequels. Do you know what I mean? Like but it is kind of strange as well because if I was to give you like my tier list of Star Wars, like
Mhm.
what I think the best movies are, it wouldn't necessarily be the prequels of one, two, and three. So I don't know. It's kind of muddled up. I think that I do love the older movies, but there's just something about them prequels that just really do it for me.
Mhm. Can we get your tier list? Would you like to
Mm.
share?
I feel like that always changes as well. I'll tell you where it is right now,
Hmm.
and I won't do the sequels. I'll just do the six. So I would say in six would be New Hope.
Hmm.
I think love it, but to me, it's there. Then I would probably say after that, it would probably be Return of the Jedi. Then it would be Attack of the Clones. Then it would be Empire Strikes Back. Then it would be Phantom Menace. Then it would be Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is always top for me.
Okay, okay. I feel like your list would potentially rile up a lot of older Star Wars fans.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely, it
know, I
would.
think that's going to be, yeah, I think there's going to be some people that'll get to this part of the podcast and just be like, nope.
Turn it off. Yeah, sorry,
But
guys. Sorry.
fuck them. You know what? We're allowed to enjoy things the way we want to enjoy them. And
100%. I
your
think so.
way, yeah. Let me see if I got, but we did have this, we had the same conversation with a local tattoo artist, Chris Hill, whenever he was on, and he gave us his tier list, but I can't remember what order. Did we give our orders, Adam? We did, but I can't
Did
remember what
we?
mine was. But I
What would you
think
be? What are your orders?
for me, I think I would go last would be Attack of the Clones.
Hmm.
Then I'm gonna go Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, then Return of the Jedi, then New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back.
Mm.
Fair.
Hmm.
From six up, I'll go Solo. No,
Just throwing that in too.
even though Solo would be high if we were doing every film.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
But Attack of the Clones six, Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Empire.
Hmm.
Amazing.
Hmm.
See, I think that it's a beautiful thing that we all like different. I think it's so
Mm,
good.
Yeah, different ways. And I think it does alternate because I would sometimes flip between um Return of the Jedi and Phantom because
Mm.
Jedi was my favorite as a kid. Like it was my favorite of all of them was Return of the Jedi. But as I grew up and got to understand filmmaking and storytelling better, that's when
Mm.
Empire kind of started to take over more. But
Mm.
I definitely feel that Revenge of the Sith is on par with Phantom Menace in terms of the storytelling element and the characters' drives and passions. Again,
Mm.
is Revenge of the Sith as well acted as Empire Strikes Back is? No, but that's again that's
Mm.
just down to direction and dialogue and that sort of thing, and that can't be helped. But as we all grew up with it, like that, it doesn't bother us. We don't care. Like we just
mm,
loved it so
Yeah,
much. Getting to
I
go.
I also think that like there's there I don't even care if the acting is bad. I don't care one bit. Like the story of Star Wars is what I love, and it doesn't. I don't care if the acting's bad or there's certain parts of it that aren't great. Like I just love it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they could be doing anything, and I love it because it's Star Wars. So
Hmm.
I don't know what it is about that, but I think the same. Like there's if you're looking at it like is the acting like on this one good or this one good, like this there would probably change, but my list is purely on just how I feel about the certain movies. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's
Yeah.
definitely weird.
I want you to sell us on Attack of the Clones because Adam and I have mentioned many a time before that Attack of the Clones is one of those ones that where we can acknowledge, and we have talked before about the bits that really make it for us. There's also
Hmm.
quite a few bits that we're like about. But
Yeah.
sell us, give us your pitch on Attack of the Clones. Say somebody had never seen Attack of the Clones before. How are you going to sell
Okay.
it to them?
I love Attack of the Clone. I'll tell you exactly why I love Attack of the Clone so much. I love the whole everything with Geonosis. I love it so much. And also I think it's such an important part of the story of Anakin and Padme's relationship. I think it's so important that that's in that film. And I know that there's the whole thing of I don't like sand, I don't like all of that, people hate it, but I think that it's such an important part of the story, especially for Anakin to see where he is at that time of his life. And I just loved it. I love the characters in it as well. Django Fett, amazing. You get to see all of obviously the clones, where the clones come from. We get that whole slice of the story with Sifo Dyas and where that all the origin comes from. And also, I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars series. I love it so much. So, like, obviously, that's right before it, isn't it? So I feel like it all merges into one together for me. And that's why I love Attack of the Clones. I love it, but there is also parts of it, obviously, that are not absolutely amazing. There's bits of it that are quite drag, and it's not 100% perfect, so that's why it isn't higher up on my list. But
Mhm.
I love it. I love it so much. I love the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jango Fett fight on Camino. I love all of it. I love it so much. It's such a great movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree. The Kenobi detective story is
Mm,
fantastic, and we get Dexter Jetster, which is just a whole other element
exactly.
of greatness.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing, the Anakin Padme love story, as you say, yes, it's important, it's needed. It's just a
Mm,
shame that it's just not incredibly well written. But what is
mm,
incredibly well written for them is the love theme across the stars. Like we got that from Attack of the Clones, and it's
mm.
just in general one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars music, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very underrated movie personally, but I understand why people don't like it, and I think that people are entitled to their opinion on anything. If they don't like it, and that's fine. There's like I said for Star Wars, there's something for everyone. They
Oh yeah.
might. I personally am not like the biggest fan of Andor. I've struggled with it, to be honest with you, whereas someone else would absolutely love it, and I think
Mhm.
that but both sides of that are absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But Jack, you say you love all things Star Wars. Let's see if we're going to be best mates. How much do you love the Moped Gang from the Book of Boba Fett?
This is another one I've struggled with is the Book of Boba Fett. I
Wow.
struggled with it, so probably that's probably not the best answer for you, to be honest with you.
Well,
There is.
if you haven't watched them yet, you know you've something to look forward to.
And this is actually also another thing as well. Like there is parts of Star Wars that I haven't even seen.
Mm.
Like I'm very much where like I will wait to watch something until I'm in the mood. Like if something comes out, well, the only when More Shadow Lord comes out, I'm watching that straight away. I'm watching that within a second. But there's certain pieces of content where like I didn't watch The Mandalorian for ages because I felt like I wasn't ready to watch it. And then one day I was like, right, I want to watch it now. So there's certain parts of Star Wars that I haven't even seen yet, which I also love because it's like I get to still experience it for the first time. Like I'm not bang absolutely up to date. Like my love of Star Wars is I rewatch the same things all the time, over and over and over again. And a lot of it is the prequel era kind of stuff. And then I do venture out and I watch the sequels. I watch the original trilogy and stuff, and then I watch like the shows. But I spam the same stuff all of the time. So I couldn't tell you how many hundreds of times I've watched Revenge of the Sith. I've watched it so many times. It's like I've just spammed it in my memory over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. And Adam, I think it's only fair now. So Jack's given us his pitch for why he loves Attack of the Clones.
Mm.
I think you need to give us your pitch for why you love the Moped Gang from Book of Boba Fett so much, so that
Yeah,
Jack
please.
can obviously, understand and come to appreciate it when he comes around to watch it.
Easy, man. Let me tell you, they're like the Citizen Kane of Star Wars. They are a colorful. They all have their own separate Vespas, and they're
Hmm.
all different colors. People say like Power Rangers, but like the rainbow is a big spectrum, and um, they are like mods in more ways
Hmm.
than one because they have also modifications to their body, and
Cool.
they are post-war punks living in Mos Espa,
Hmm.
um, and the main one is played by Sophie Thatcher from like Yellow Jackets and being fit, and
Hmm.
they get into a chase. Now, people say it's a slow chase, and it put a lot of people off. I say it's because they're normally too fast for the human eye that they have to slow the chase down. Um, and then one of the guys does an unnecessary spin while shooting a gun. But I love them because, like I've said on multiple podcasts before, they are what would happen post-war with
Hmm.
teenagers. Like we've said, me and Danny, if they were on Coruscant, you wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Mm.
But whenever you live in a small town, you're gonna have that section of goths that live at City Hall on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And these are the goths of Mos Espa. They just happen to be a bit Power Rangery.
Nice. Well, that sounds good to me. And body modification, you know that I'm all about that. So that sounds like I need to watch it, to be honest with you.
See, Danny?
Yep, sold.
There we
There
go. You
we go.
sold me. You sold me.
Perfect. Yeah. What can I sell? What should I? Have you watched Skeleton Crew yet?
Yeah, I've watched some of it, not all of it.
Yeah, I would.
And
I would say.
I was enjoying it. I do like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Then I don't need to sell
Mm.
you. But my pitch for that is imagine Treasure. imagine Treasure Planet meets Goonies meets the feeling of every Amblin Spielberg movie ever. Put it in the Star Wars universe. Skeleton Crew sold. Wonderful
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, perfect. Bought. I'll buy one of them, please.
Yeah,
Perfect.
excellent.
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Um, so Jack, not only are you use Star Wars to help you have a creative outlet. You've got your TikToks, you also have your clothes and stuff. And just what is it that kind of gives you that drive? You're obviously a very creative guy, and you've taken this thing that you're passionate about.
Mm.
But like ourselves with our podcast, with our Instagram, and just what kind of joy does that bring you, and what how does it drive your content?
It's sort of like, to be honest with you, like I've only really been doing Star Wars content for, I don't even know. I think it was maybe like October this year. I decided like I'm going to do all of my content to be Star Wars because I've made content for like years and years, and I know obviously I like my job is to make content for a clothing brand, so I've always done it. But I sort of decided like I actually just want to make content on the stuff that I want to make, like just because in that point, like I'm sure you know as well, when you're sitting there thinking, oh, what should I make content about? What should I make content about? I just thought to myself, if I'm making content about the things that I actually really love, I don't even have to think about it, and that's kind of how I kind of approach it. Like I don't really plan my videos or anything like that. I just kind of think, oh sweet, I'll make a video on this today. Like if I get some new cards through, I'll just say, all right, cool. I'll just put the camera on and then I'll just ramble. And I'm very prone to rambling about stuff. So it just sort of comes out. But and with like making things as well, I just that is just all I want to do. That's in life, that's all I want to do. And I'm lucky that with my job, obviously, that is what my job is, that I'm able to create stuff and make things. But without that, like I don't care about anything else other than just making things and enjoying the things that I like. And I'm lucky as well that my girlfriend is exactly the same. We're like exactly the same person. So I don't really. It's sort of just it feels as if just what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? This is all I want to be doing. So it just kind of comes a lot easier now, especially now that I'm doing content on just Star Wars stuff. And it's interesting as well because since I started doing that is when things have like people have been a lot more interested in the videos and stuff. But I think you can kind of see that because you can see that I'm genuinely excited about the things that I'm talking about, you know. So I think that that's kind of like where it comes from. I just really enjoy it and I love it. So I just kind of do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
Yeah.
and it's the same for us. That's why,
Mm.
Adam and I we regale this story has come up, I think, in the last four podcasts. But Adam and
Mhm.
I started because I went on another podcast that Adam co-hosts, and I was on to talk about Phantom Menace for the anniversary.
Mm.
And after we'd finished recording, we were just like, that was good crack. That was good fun talking to each other about Star Wars. Let's start our own Star Wars podcast. And
Yeah.
since that, it originally was intended to be a bi-weekly thing. We have just taken off. We love getting guests like yourself on to talk about Star Wars. We've created content off the back of Star Wars that we find fun, like our holiday special just before Christmas. And
Mhm.
like we just have such good crack coming up with the ideas, executing them, and then finding all the other bits and pieces that kind of fall in from the fandom. Like we said, we've recently got into Star Wars Unlimited, and that's
Mm.
because we're both like, yes, seeking content for the podcast and for our socials, but also
Yeah.
just for the love of Star Wars and the love of finding fun things to do. Like Unlimited is I play other card games. I've played Magic the Gathering, I've played Pokemon, and this game feels very much like a nice combination of the two. And then the fact that
Mhm.
it's Star Wars and the beautiful art and the cards too. It's
Yeah.
it's the perfect combo. And yeah, like the things you get to discover and play with and do along the way for your passion for Star Wars and passion to be creative. It's great.
Yeah, I think so. And I also, I know I always say in my videos as well, like I always mention, I'm 30 years old, I'm this and that. I like to try and drive home that like you shouldn't ever stop loving the things that you love. It doesn't matter how old you are or what's like going on in your life. If you have kids or if you've got a mortgage or this or that, or you're so busy, like you should always continue to love the things that you love because I personally think that's what life is all about, is enjoying them same things. And if you get to a certain point in like and you think I'm too old for this now, I think that you're robbing yourself of happiness because you shouldn't ever stop enjoying the things that you love to do. And I don't think you should ever stop creating things either. Like you just said there, like it gives you so much fulfillment to create things, especially when it's things that you love talking about as well. I just don't think anyone should ever stop doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, the fact as well is, we're we're both very heavily tattooed men, and
Mm,
the things we have tattooed on us are, I think, are a reflection of our passions. You know, before we came on, I was showing off my Star Wars tattoos to you, but it's not just Star Wars. I'm covered in just pop culture in general, and I think that's because
mm.
I am very much I literally wear it on my sleeves. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
but I was showing you some of my Star Wars tattoos, but what Star Wars tattoos have you got?
Interestingly enough. So I did say to you before, I'm not sure if it's before we started, but I have dark side tattooed on my fingers.
Hmm.
And they go from like my knuckles right down to the cuticle of my fingers. They were very, very painful. I also have, I'm trying to think of everything now. So I have on my back, I have a droid, I have Grievous, I have a Tamagotchi do you know, they're not gonna be able to see it, but I'll show you it.
Should we all take our
So
tops
I
off?
don't know if you can see. So, oh wait, no, wrong side. So here, that's a Ahsoka
Ah,
Tano Tamagotchi.
Oh yeah.
excellent.
And then we have a droid. We
Hmm.
have a Grievous. What else do I have? It's actually really hard to remember. Oh, here I have Jules End Vader with the
Mm.
Smash Mask.
Yeah.
What else do we have? I mean, it's actually kind of hard to tell because I have so many. I actually forget what's going on. But on my legs, I have a huge Darth Maul portrait on my legs. I have Vader's lightsaber on the back of my leg. I'm trying to think now of what else. There's quite a few, to be honest. There's quite a few and more. Like I said, I'm getting a new one tomorrow. I'm getting Padme in a heart with Attack of the Clones tomorrow. So we, I wish I had more Star Wars tattoos, and not all of my tattoos are Star Wars, but we still got space.
Yeah, there's always a better room you'll find somewhere. What's the one tattoo you always forget? The one I forget is I have like a little bit of sushi being held by a pair of chopsticks, but the sushi's in the shape of the Mickey Mouse head, and it's
Oh
on the
no.
back one of my arms, and I always kind of just forget it's there, and then I'll catch a glimpse of it in the mirror, and I'll be like, "Oh, look at that!"
Yeah, yeah, no, I do. There's so many now, like, because I've got them like obviously like all on my front. I have all my neck done. I have like some of my head and stuff. I actually forget I have nearly all of them, and I've been getting tattooed since I was 17 or 30 now. And it's such a normal thing to have them that I often forget that I even have so many. And then a situation will happen, like someone will point them out, or someone will say like, "Oh, did that hurt?" or something, and I think, "Oh, fucking hell, yeah, I've got like loads. They're everywhere." Do you know what I mean? So I actually forget a lot of them, but I think that it's easy just to forget what's there and then you get reminded by them. But I love that. I
What
absolutely
would
love it. So a lot of my arms are like just random stuff that I've then had to blast over after. So like if you when you see, but this whole up here is like blasted over. I have a few that are dotted about that are blasted over because I made some bad decisions when I was a kid. But thankfully, I have a lot of good ones mixed in as well.
Yeah, my very first tattoo is also now covered up because I turned 18, ran into the first tattoo shop I could find. The fellow was like, "Aye, I'll do that for 50 quid." It was
Mm,
a yin yang symbol, but it had the Rebel Alliance and the Imperial cog in it.
amazing.
And he'd done that. I was like, "Oh, I'd like the dark side, the Imperial cog side to be done like sort of the shadow of the Death Star." And he was like,
Mm.
"Yeah, no problem, I can do that." And then it's just shit. And he put the stencil on while I was leaning in the chair. So then
Oh
when I stood
no,
up straight, it
it's
warped.
different.
And it was
Yeah,
just, yeah. And he also then dug it that deep that it's still, so it's under like the Spider-Man in my arm, but you can very, very faintly
you
still
can still see it.
see
Spider-Man's very cool.
under. Thanks. But yeah, so that was my first, yeah, ran out, rushed out, was like, I'm getting my first tattoo. Did not know about researching your artist, checking out their portfolio beforehand. Was just like, I'm getting a Star Wars tattoo, and that's it. And so yeah, that was my first one covered up. And then after that, I learned I was like, right, I need to go and see what my artist can do. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, I found Chris, who's been on the podcast before, and like I wouldn't go to anybody else now. Like he just me and him get each other, and I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, what Star Wars or other movie adjacent thing are we doing this week? You know?
yeah, absolutely. I think that everyone goes through that phase, especially if you have a lot of tattoos. Like, and when you could very first get a tattoo, you're like, sweet, I'll go anywhere. I didn't even care who did it when I get my first tattoo. It didn't matter who was going to do it. Someone, a random person who had never tattooed before, I would have said, yeah, you can do it, mate. Don't worry, because I wanted a tattoo that badly. But you learn, don't you, over time? That's not the way to do things.
Exactly.
Whenever I
Yeah.
first got my first tattoo, I got the Ravager symbol from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
But I was like, put it on my wrist because Yondu's like, oh, I wear this symbol on my sleeve. Not realizing that it would just like first tattoo be like, yeah, do my wrists be fine. And then halfway through, like almost blacking out, and then it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like all
Yeah,
scarred here, where I was like,
yeah.
I need a piece of chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be painful on there. They can. Like tomorrow I said I'm getting the Padme tattoo, but I'm also getting a huge tattoo on my back redone. So we're gonna be a good few hours getting that smashed in. So it'll be a fun day tomorrow. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, stock up on sugary drinks and sweeties and just be
Absolutely.
ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Adam wants to get a tattoo done, and it's a Star Wars related one, and I think he needs to hurry up and do it. But Adam, do you want to regale what one of your next tattoos is going to be?
So you know the Muppet Sam the Eagle?
Yeah.
Well, I ran his Wikipedia page for a few years. When I say ran, I mean I altered it to what I wanted it to say, and then people would alter it back because I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Sam the Eagle fan, but me and Danny came up with the idea of Sam the Eagle, but in General Thrawn's
Okay.
outfit, like his military outfit.
Mm,
And I want to get that. I want to get because I have one of the back of my legs is a Scotty Young Spider-Man, so I still have space on the other back of my legs. So I
mm.
want just a big portrait of that, but money is the issue. I should just go down, Danny. Just
Just do it. Just commit.
Just do it,
spend
mate. Yeah.
spend
Yeah,
money I don't have and just be like, ah, fuck it.
it's
Yeah,
time.
do it. Do
It's
it.
time.
Absolutely. It's worth it. You only live one time unless we live
Exactly.
again, and then you can get tattooed again. So
Mm.
you might as well,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I think.
Um, so with Star Wars and just how your content has kind of allowed you to express your love for it and express your love for the prequels, and how have you found the reaction to it? Because we've spoken to other content creators within the Star Wars space, and generally it's a real mixed bag. But how do
Mm.
you find, especially because you are so prequel heavy, how do you
Yeah,
find the reaction?
not really. I wouldn't say that it was really bad. I'm quite like, I have had videos where there's been like a lot of hate on them and stuff, but it's not normally about like what era of Star Wars I like. But I'm very thick-skinned. I really don't care what people say to me at all. So I'm more than if people want to send any kind of hate on my video, please do it. And I'll reply to it most of the time as well. I actually really enjoy it, which is probably not the best thing to do. But yeah, on a whole, I'd say like 99% of everything like that I've put out there, Star Wars related, like the reaction's been really good to it. The only time I ever really have, I had a video recently where I said the fact that I was 13, and like I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have kids, and that riled a few people like the wrong way. But none of them were Star Wars fans. They were just random people that weren't happy about it. Um, but on a whole, like everything's super duper positive, and I'm very very thankful that people like are interested in the videos that I put out there. And it's not like I have like a huge following, and not all of my followers on TikTok are from Star Wars. Like they were from a long time ago, a lot of them. So like I said, I've only really been doing Star Wars content since like October-ish. But I'm very grateful for the people that are really receptive of the content, and people are like, it seems like I'm building like a nice little community of people. Um, with the things that I'm doing, and like I'm talking to people all of the time, and we're having great Star Wars conversations, and it's just nice and positive, and I really love it. And I've been able to do like a few giveaways and stuff, which I love so much, which is really fun because I like the idea of, because these people don't need to watch me. There's so like you can scroll, you can just open TikTok and there's a million people that you can just scroll and watch. So you have no reason to watch me over someone else. So if you are, I feel like if I can, and I collect loads of stuff, as you can tell. I have lots of spare things, and and I'm always getting new stuff. So I like to be able to give back to people if I can, and that's something that I always want to do as I keep on growing as well. I was talking to Taylor, my girlfriend, today, and I said to her like, because we're doing a giveaway at the moment of a Kylo Ren bag and one of the t-shirts, and that's running until Friday, and then I'm going to do another one next week. And I said to her like, I just want to keep on building them up and just giving away more stuff. I like giving away stuff. I really love it. So I
Yeah,
like but I'm just very grateful for the people that do watch, and I appreciate it because they don't have to, and they don't
yeah,
have to care, but they do. So it's great. It's
yeah.
fun.
Would you be the type of person to go to like Comic Cons and stuff?
Yeah, and I've never been to one ever in my whole life, and I really want to because I just think it would be really fun. I think there's one in London. I'm not sure what the date is actually that I was thinking about. I was going to try and get to this year. There's one in Liverpool at the end of this month, I think,
Yes,
Comic
so
Con, and then I think there's one in London. I can't remember what off the top of my head what day it is now, but I wanted to try and get down there for that because, like I said, I've never been to one before, and I think it would be really really fun. And I'm not into like cosplay and stuff like that, but I'm very interested in the people that do it because I think it's really really interesting how they make all their like their costumes, and people spend like months on them, didn't they? and I just think it would be really interesting to go. Have you guys been to like celebrations and different Comic Cons and stuff?
Well, neither of us have done celebration. Celebration is the goal, is the dream, but we have
Yeah.
done. We did. So the Liverpool Comic Con you were mentioning there, it's run by Monopoly Events, and they do Comic Con Northern Ireland as well. And we did that
Hmm.
last year, and it was good crack. It was good fun. But Dublin Comic Con, as of recording this episode, has not happened yet, but it may have happened by the time we release this.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to try and get down to that because Anthony Daniels is one of the guests.
Hmm.
We need to get a picture with 3PO, like,
Yeah.
but they, so yeah, there's a few ones, but yeah, we've both been to like different events, either on that bigger con scale or smaller con events and that sort of thing. There's actually one of our other guests, Dave runs, Minicon Ireland, and he does just
Mm.
small conventions all over Ireland, and he would get like guests over who have maybe been like creature performers in Star Wars or worked in Doctor Who, and he's even got a
Mhm.
couple of the voice actors from Pixar movies, and so he's hosting those smaller events locally,
Yeah.
which is great. So yeah, 100%, man. Like even if you're not like into, you don't need to be into cosplay, you don't need to be into like every pop culture thing going, but it is great, and especially with you being a collector, like there's so many of those traders and
Oh yeah.
stuff who are like selling the stuff that you're going to be into, and you might get very lucky. Like I was very fortunate that at Comic Con NI last year, there's a dude called Kieran who has just a stand, and it's all Star Wars stuff, but it's Star Wars stuff from every run of from Kenner to Hasbro, and I managed to
Yeah.
pick up one of the pieces I always wanted as a kid, which was just here. The sneak preview Stab and Battle Droid from
Oh
episode
yeah,
one.
nice man.
So, and
Yeah.
it was only 15 quid. He was like, I'll do that for you for 15 quid. And
Wow.
I was
That's
like,
really good
happy
condition as
days.
well.
Really good, Nick. Just a wee dent at the top, but like
Yeah.
still there. And I was just like, yeah, I'm getting that. So stuff like that there, you never know what kind of traders or artists or,
Yeah.
just all sorts that you'll see. And especially now if you're getting into the cards and that, there's so many like card shows coming up like all over the place. Like even over
Yeah.
here, like where there seem to be hardly any card shows. I've seen adverts for at least three different ones in Belfast alone in the next couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. I really, because like you said about the figures and stuff, I know that I would spend so much money if I was there. I
Mhm.
would spend so much, but I'm prepared to because I know that it would be amazing. And there's a lot of figures. When I was a kid, like the figures that I definitely had the most of were the Phantom Menace figures, and then I remember one birthday, it must have been like 2005, 2006, where the all I got was Star Wars figures from Revenge of the Sith, and I had so many of them. I remember my mum told everyone, like family members, only get him this, only get him this, only get him this. And I had the biggest pile of Star Wars figures. And there's a lot of that sort of series that I would love to get back. Like I used to have the Anakin where you could pull him apart and then he'd turn into burnt Anakin.
Yeah.
And
Mickey with the
that
wee
is what I don't
table.
have anymore. Yeah, literally, yeah, you pull him apart and then turn him, and I don't have that anymore. And that is something that I really want to get. And I could get it online, but I think there'd be something nice about getting it in person again. So I feel like that would be something that I would be looking for at one of them Comic Cons. And like you said about the cards as well, I'm really into the cards, like really, really into them. So I think that I love the fact as well that there's numbered cards. I love it so much that you can say, there's only 25 of this card right here. I love that. So I think if I went to Comic Con, it'd be a dangerous place, but I do really want to go.
Uh,
Do it, man.
I will say though, Jack, in terms of London Comic Con, to me when I went, it was very corporatized. It's sort of like
Mm,
it sort of felt like San Diego Comic Con, but just like shrunk down because there was a lot of just like advertising shit.
yeah.
So if you're gonna go to a Comic Con, try and find something local. Like the Liverpool one will probably be great.
Mm,
But find something like more small scale because you're more likely to find those like local resellers that have
yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd love to go to all sorts of different ones, to be honest with you. And like I said, like I haven't ever been one before, but it's not even because like I don't want to. It's just like I've just never done it. But I would very much like this year to try and get to a few different things and just do a lot more like Star Wars things because I've always loved it since I was a kid. But I feel like in the last 6 months, I've really just said like I'm just going to be doing everything that I really love, and that's obviously where the content and stuff's come from. But that also includes like going and doing things that involve Star Wars. Like if I can go and get to a Comic-Con, or like last year, me and my girlfriend went to Disneyland Paris for the first time. I'd never been before. And even though the Star Wars section isn't, I didn't think it was the most amazing thing in the world in there. Like it just made me think I really want to go to America and go to Galaxy's Edge and just experience all of them things that I haven't experienced yet as a Star Wars fan, which I'm very, very excited to do. So yeah, I definitely want to get to a lot of them different Comic-Con kind of shows and just collect more things. I'm like a magpie. I just want to collect loads and loads of things.
Just make yourself a nice wee Star Wars nest.
Yeah.
You're fortunate in are you on the Echo Base Facebook groups, the toy selling groups?
No, not
So
really. I've got a couple, but I'm not on that specific one.
yeah, so Echo Base do a vintage group and a modern group. I
Mm,
again, like I said, I went through that phase of kind of selling off a lot of my collection. And I did it through Echo Base, but a lot of the guys who are part of that and would run the Facebook pages host an event called Echo Base Live, and it kind of changes location in England. And
mm,
again, if for in terms of toy collecting, like that would be a great show to help because you've got
yeah.
such a an eclectic mix of just every piece of Star Wars memorabilia you could think of, like the amount of random things that kind of get sold there. I seen one of your videos, you made reference to like the Phantom Menace party plates, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm near
Oh,
sure I've seen those for sale on Echo Base, you know?
yeah. I
So
love them so much. I actually bought the other day. I bought one of the Jar Jar Binks pizza boxes. That
hell
I
yeah.
bought that one
Yeah.
vintage. But I love stuff like that. I have like the most random thing. Actually, give me 1 second because I've got the most random bit of thing here. Where is it? So this I got on Vinted, and obviously people won't be able to see this, but I got this on Vinted, and this is an invitation to the. So this is an invitation to the first screening of Phantom Menace, and it's like July
Ooh.
1999, and it's a personal invitation to go and see it. Obviously, it wasn't my
Yeah.
invitation, but someone was selling them in a frame on Vinted. There was four of them, and it was like 15 quid, and that is actually one of my most favorite things that I have. I love it so much.
Turn it around, show me the other side.
So
Oh,
it has the
lovely. The Juice
yeah,
Johnson poster,
and then
class.
it has like Odeon, Leicester Square.
Brilliant.
Very
Yeah.
cool. But like I said to you before we started, like I really, really like I said, I love the Phantom Menace 1999 page. I love all of the crazy weird merch that they used to do, and I wish that they still did it. I know we're in a little bit of a different time now where they don't just pump out merch for random things, but that era of Phantom Menace merch is the most amazing thing. I actually have right next to me as well. I got this the other day. This is birthday wrapping paper,
Yeah.
pod
Oh
racing,
yeah.
and it's still in the wrapping as well. There's
Incredible.
so many like cool little things that you can get on Vinted for so cheap. Like, I think that was like £2, and I was like, I'm buying it. I'm
Yeah.
having it. I need it.
I only
Jack,
recently discovered Vinted and was like, oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah,
yes, like
yeah.
I'm afraid to go on because I'll spend a lot of money.
Oh,
Jack,
you will.
would you like either a Yoda cup topper or a uh, Padme Amidala cup topper?
Oh, a Padme Amidala one, please.
It's
Thank
yours,
you.
my friend. It's coming your
Lovely.
way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm a big Padme lover. I am big time.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all big
Yes,
Padme lovers?
always.
Talking
Absolutely.
about Padme, I also noticed in one of your videos, you have one of the Star Wars Unleashed Grievuses.
Yes, I
Um,
do. I do. Oh, you have the Padme there, don't you?
Well,
which
it's
for
a
some
bit,
reason
it's controversial.
it did so well on our Instagram, but only because of her
Yeah.
details.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the Grievous one, but I actually decided because we're doing, like I said about the giveaway, I'm going to be doing that next week. Because I said that I'm going to do every time I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, going to do another giveaway, and like I'm really close to that now, and I'm going to give away the Grievous because when I did the video about it, people were loving it, so I thought let me give it away because people are probably going to like really, really want it. So that's part of the giveaway. And there's some cards in there and some t-shirts and stuff, but that isn't going to be with me for much longer. But I think I
Well,
might have to get a Padme one, to be honest with you.
I know what I'm doing when I see that post go up.
Yeah.
Padme needs a mate. So.
Yeah, it should be. To be fair, it should be like end of the week, like start of next week maybe. That I'll
Yeah.
post it up. But the first prize, because when I did the last one, there was three different tiers. It was like first, second, and third. But the first prize at the moment is the Grievous figure. Then there's a Obi-Wan card to 199, and then there's a Sick2Death Anakin t-shirt on there as well. And then someone, it's been really cool as well because I've like I think people can see that I'm obviously giving stuff away now. People keep on sending me stuff to give away in the giveaways, which is cool. So someone has like only just this week has sent me loads of Star Wars books. and they asked me if I wanted them, but to be honest, my attention span is so awful. I have to do audiobooks because I can't I can't sit still and read. But I said to them, they're like, I'd love to have them, but I'd like to give them away in the thing. So we've got a huge big stack of that, which is quite fun. That people now want to send me stuff to add to the giveaway. So that's fun. It's a cool
Yeah.
little thing we've got going on.
Fantastic. That's yeah, we do enjoy a wee giveaway as well. We did one at 2,500 followers.
Mm,
We've done one there at 7,500. I'm just trying to think again, as of recording, the competition is ongoing, but I think by the
mm.
time this releases, we should have announced our winner. So congratulations to our winner. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've sort of again kind of from stuff from our own collections and stuff we kind of found along the way. We like to kind of cobble together a nice sort of giveaway. So we have like a Funko Mandalorian 4 pack, one of our J3PO prints, one of our keyrings and stickers for Outer Rim, as well as like a
Mm,
little Mandalorian M1 Lego set, and then one of those KFC cups and toppers. Because again, it's a nice mix
nice.
of like Star Wars goodies from across the
Yeah.
range of Star Wars, the Star Wars saga. So
Yeah.
yeah, and as you say, it's nice to kind of show appreciation to the fact that people are engaging and following your content too. We don't
Mm.
underestimate the power of the following that we're gaining and what it does for our podcast and keeps us going, keeps us doing what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I just think that like it's just an important thing to be able to give back to people. Like I'm in a fortunate enough position where like I am able to like buy all of this Star Wars stuff, and obviously it's probably because like I don't have any kids and I'm not like I don't have them sort of like things in my life, but there's a lot of Star Wars fans that do have that, and like I might like I have that Grievous figure and I'm giving away this card, I'm giving away that. Like people might not be in a position where they're able just to go out and buy the things that they want, but if I may, obviously I'm in a position where I can do that. So I feel like I should be able to give back to people. And if someone isn't able to, just be like, I can just buy myself that figure, I'll get that figure because I'm not able to, but they can win one and they can do that. I feel like it's just a nice thing. It's good karma to give back to people, I think it's a good thing to do. And it's just fun. I really like doing it. I love giving stuff away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Across the whole like Star Wars, like the movies and TV shows, is there any sort of section you said that you haven't cosplayed before, but is there any sort of section of the universe that you haven't got into just yet?
So yeah, I would say Andor is really where like I haven't properly got into. So I've watched like all of Rebels, so I'm sort of familiar with that kind of thing, Rogue One and everything, which I loved, but I haven't really gone too far into Andor. Same with Book of Boba Fett. Like when we're getting sort of a little bit further along, that's kind of where I haven't into it because like I said before, like I'm very much in the prequel kind of area. So there's a lot of stuff that I still haven't seen, like Book of Boba Fett and/or um, bits and pieces like that. But I still have that to look forward to.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it is very much I just spam the same stuff all the time. I do it all the time. I just watch the same stuff over and over and over again. So I should really sit down and get into it. And I'm just at the moment I'm not the whole way through it yet, but I'm watching Bad Batch at the moment, which I'm loving. I'm really,
Yes.
really liking Bad Batch.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
Mm.
is a prequel book. I don't know if you've listened to the audiobook version of it, but it's called Brotherhood about
Okay.
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Mm.
And it's basically what you miss out on from their training, but Obi-Wan sort of looking back on him training with Qui-Gon as well.
Oh, okay.
And
Interesting.
it sort of fills in that between episode one and episode two gaps of sort of what their relationship is, and it's sort of, do you know when they're in the lift in Attack of the Clones, and he's sort
Yeah.
of like, remember that time? It sort of like fills in that bit of
Oh,
gap where it
okay.
doesn't feel as awkward as because like
Yeah.
it's two
Yeah.
guys that have known each other for years, but they're sort of like, do you remember that time? It's like, well, yeah, I was there. It's like it's not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. Do you know what? That's another thing as well. Like I've seen recently a lot of people like they weren't too even happy with where they're going with like Maul, Shadow Lord and stuff. And a lot of people want it to be like we've heard these characters, we know so much about these characters, we don't need more in them. Where I'm actually the opposite. I'm like, I want to know in between all the little gaps of the story. So I think I'll definitely search up that audiobook and because I want to know all of the little lore for everything. And I think there's so much as well. Like even though that I've loved Star Wars for my whole life, there's so much stuff that I still don't know. which I
Yeah.
think is so interesting. And I am trying to get more into the books. Like I've been listening to the Revenge of the Sith audiobook, which has been amazing so far because there's just so much more detail in there. I think I was like 2 hours in, and they hadn't even got to the Chancellor yet. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy! Like there's so much information that's going into it. So yeah, there's like that whole other side of things, and then with the comics as well. I'm not sure if you guys are into the comics, but and Legends, like there's so much that I feel that I haven't even properly stepped into yet, and I need to get into it. But that's the beautiful thing about it. It would be boring if I'd just seen absolutely everything and I knew absolutely everything. So yeah, I definitely need to get into the books more, and especially the comics. I feel like there's a lot in the comics I haven't seen
Yeah,
and I'm not really too aware of.
there's a great Django series. There's a great Mace Windu series, and then as of recording today, there's the new Jar Jar series.
Mhm.
Cool.
So it's a lot. I haven't seen any spoilers. I ordered me and Danny our copies, but we'll not get them for a few weeks because we pre-ordered the special Black History Month covers, so we gotta wait. But
Nice.
it's what's he call Amit Best's other character, Danny?
Queller and Beck.
Color him back. It's him and Jar Jar teaming up, and then Ahmed Best is writing the comic book, so it's sort of like a after all of he went through, and now he's sort of being celebrated again.
Yeah.
25 years on, it's sort of like a nice victory lap for him to return to that character again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely have to have a look on that. And I've actually noticed on the cards, like I think I've got it right here. Like I'm pretty sure you guys might know better than me because obviously I haven't read it. But I've got a card here, The Morning of Padme. I'm pretty sure that is from one of the comics, isn't it? Where he goes back to Naboo and he's at her crypt
Yes,
and he goes to visit her.
it's it's the second sort of series of fader between Empire and Return of the Jedi because he goes back to the crypt and then crypt. He doesn't go back to the crypt. That's a different series.
Yeah.
He goes back to the crypt and all of the handmaidens, all of Padme's handmaidens are there.
Keira Knightley
Uh,
Yeah.
especially
yeah,
turns
Keira
up and
Knightley's same character.
Yeah.
They're all there to attack Vader.
Mhm.
And then he like fights them all off. It's a great series.
Yeah. Have you guys got like a series that you would like to see in live action that you would like them to do that they haven't done yet?
Mm,
ooh, ooh. I'm referring to my pile of Star Wars books and comics just to kind of think that one over.
maybe the
Or
Vader
to be fair, or
down.
in animated, just a story they haven't told yet that you'd like to see.
Oh, a story I haven't told.
I've mentioned this before on the podcast. I would love to see the Mandalorian Wars
Mhm.
happen pre
Oh,
Phantom Menace. I
interesting.
think that would be cool to see the Jedi facing off against the Mandalorians and see where that kind of feud and distrust between between Mandalore and the Jedi Order sort of starts.
Yeah, that would be really interesting actually, because we get that a lot in Clone Wars, didn't we? When we
Hmm.
see the Mandalorians, they're very standoffish, aren't they, with
Yeah,
the Jedi? So that I think that would be really interesting actually
yeah.
to see that.
Hmm.
My
What about you,
answer's
Adam?
my answer's really boring, but it's it's you sort of got it teased in the video game for Jedi Outcast, no, Jedi Fallen Order. I want to
Mm,
see the Corellian shipbuilders moving from the Republic to the Empire and sort of
mm,
like the bureaucracy between because obviously a lot of the people that owned those shipyards weren't involved in the war, but obviously took the credits
yeah.
from the Empire and sort of like I was listening to the audiobook to the new Star Wars Outlaws and the guy in that, his parents are sort of like high people in that sort of bureaucracy.
Hmm.
And I just want to sort of see this. It would be a boring series because it'd just be people fucking spreadsheets and stuff. But that shit just sort of interests me of people who work for the bad guys but aren't bad guys themselves.
Got ya. Yeah, yeah.
You
They're
know?
just trying to survive and
Yeah,
in a crazy galaxy.
yeah. That sort of shit really interests me. I know it's the clerk's answer. It's like, is the people that install the plumbing on the Death Star really that bad?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about yourself?
I would really, this might be like a boring answer because I feel like this is something that a lot of people want, but I want to see, as I just showed you that card as well, I really want to see Vader, how he's dealing with them first few years of being Vader and how he's dealing with the torment of what happened to Padme and where he is, and not even so much of like him going out and slaying Jedi, like more. the psychology of where he's at and how much pain he's in. I really want them to get that across further, because I think there's a lot of like, I know that people say like his fall to the dark side was rushed, and I feel like with Vader, like it's very easy just to be like, he's just evil, he's just evil, he's just awful, he's just that. But I really want to see like the side of how much psychological pain he's in from what happened. So I would love that series personally. I don't think they'll do it, but and get Hayden Christensen back for it.
Oh, absolutely. The comics are great for that. As you say, that piece of art where he's going and visiting the Crypt of Padme. There's also
Mm.
fantastic artwork where he's kind of being haunted by the ghosts of the fallen Jedi. There's so
Mm.
much fantastic imagery within the comics and the narratives there that 100% if they did decide to pursue that, there's fantastic source material for it.
Yeah, that just makes me think more that I really need to get into the comics, because that's something that I really want to see more of, because I'm very interested in the psychology of just how much pain and how difficult it is for him. I think it's easy to think he's just evil, he's awful, but obviously we know that's not exactly how it is. It's a lot more in depth than that.
Yeah, he's also just badass in them. Like the very first run of the Star Wars comics, and he's got that line. He's surrounded by all the rebels, and he's just like, "I'm surrounded by dead men." You're like, "Oh, fucking killer
Yeah,
line, so good."
yeah. It's the confidence, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah,
no, they're not touching me. None of
yeah,
them are.
Do you
yeah.
Yeah, I
know,
love that.
have you ever seen the panel, Danny, of Palpatine talking about that moment?
I don't think so. No.
So in the comic books, Palpatine brings up that moment again of him saying that in front of the rebels, which means that Vader was so impressed that he went and told Palpatine. He was like, "You'll never guess
Oh
what I
God.
said."
Yeah. That
That's
is too
great.
funny.
Yeah.
I've
Um,
I Do you guys play the games as well? I've recently just finished Fallen Order, and I'm playing
Mhm.
Survivor at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. The Jedi games are some of the best. Like, but yeah, we would rip through like trying to think. There's not a lot of them I haven't played. It would be a lot of the earlier like Nintendo 64 and PC stuff that I maybe wouldn't have played. But
Mm,
yeah, like the Jedi games are unreal. But my favorite Star Wars game probably of all time is Republic Commandos. The Republic
amazing.
Commandos game is just like,
Mm,
because again, it was that bridging thing between episode 2 and 3, and it was like one of the first glimpses apart from the 2003 animated series that we got to see Grievous, and it's such a fleeting moment in the game, but it's just so
mm.
like, whoa, like
Yeah.
what's that, and even to have these clones that are different from the clones that we see again is just a whole other element of fascination for the clones for me, and to have them
Mm,
have those individual unique characteristics and how they're more unique than your standard clone, and they got properly trained in the Mandalorian ways and in Mandoa, and then to have that further explored in Karen Travis's Republic Commando books is just yeah fantastic. So yeah, Republic Commando is probably my favorite, but yeah, the Star Wars games are just from the Jedi to the Legos, great games.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've only recently just got a PlayStation again. I didn't have one for years. Like I just didn't do it. And I've never been that much of a gamer, but I got one like a few months ago. And then I got it from my girlfriend and bought it off of her because she bought one, and then she just never played it. And she had downloaded Fallen Order on there already.
Mhm.
And I was like, right, sweet, well, I've got to play it then, haven't I? And then I got into it. And at first, I was struggling with the gameplay a little bit. And then once I was into it, I didn't put it down until I'd finished it. I loved it so much. It was so good. And I love Cal Kestis so much. And I also love BD1.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
because
games.
that
because you were sort of separated from it, did you have the Vader reveal spoiled before going in, or was it just new to you?
little bit. I knew that it happened, and I knew that he was like that. Obviously, he had an encounter with Vader, but I didn't. I wasn't prepared for it at the time. I remember screaming at the TV, going, "Oh my fucking god, this is crazy!" And like when like obviously he just keeps appearing, didn't he? Just out of nowhere, and he just bangs straight there again, and it was insane. Yeah, I loved every second of it, and I'm pretty sure that he has another encounter with him in this game in Survivor, but I don't 100% know yet because I've I don't know exactly where I'm at. I haven't played it in like a week or two, but I'm not super far into it yet. So I'm still very much enjoying it. But so far, I don't know what you guys think, but so far I've enjoyed Fallen Order more than I am Survivor. I quite enjoy that it's more a little bit more simple, isn't it? In Fallen Order, I enjoy that a lot more because I think that I'm at a part now where like I've got about 30 stances and all this mad stuff's going on, and I've got all these different kind of lightsabers, and there's a blaster, and I'm quite simple. I have the single blade and the double blade, and that's me.
Mhm. Sorry.
Did you like the first one more sort of too because you have like Dathomir?
Yeah, I enjoyed Dathomir. And oh my God, Dathomir was so hard. It took me ages to get through Dathomir because yeah, the brothers were absolutely mashing me up for so long. I kept on having to respawn so many times. But I love Dathomir and also love the Night Sisters as well. I like Sarge Ventress. I know I pointed out your tattoo at the start. I really love a Sarge Ventress, and I just love Dathomir. I think it's one of the most interesting planets, and obviously we get Savage and Maul and Mother Talzin. I'm a big fan of Dathomir.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
such a good planet.
It
Mm.
seems like it's primed for live action at some point. Surely
Mm.
Ahsoka, maybe? I don't know.
Hmm.
I feel like now with
Mm.
Dave in charge, we're more likely to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, because I am really, I don't know how you guys feel about Ahsoka, but I'm very much excited for Ahsoka season two because I'm hoping that we get a lot more Clone Wars flashbacks
Yeah. Yeah.
and we get a lot more in that. Because I'm not sure if it was confirmed or not. If I think Hayden's in it, but is
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor in it as well?
There was that kind of slip up where he said about being about, but then was like, no, 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 it's not me, my wife. My wife's in it. So
Yeah.
again, I think it's one of those things. He's kind of dodged it, so I don't know 100%. But no, Hayden's definitely in it because sure, when they were over filming last year, Hayden and Rosea and a couple of the other cast members did the Monopoly Comic Con events. They did Liverpool and Manchester, and did they do one? I think they did one of the Scotland
Scotland?
shows as well. Yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, they were able to attend those because they were filming over here, or over there, which was just like, oh, see the again whenever they announced the Liverpool, and I was like, can I reason this? I have a wedding to
Yeah.
pay for, but can I reason this? But ultimately, no. I was like, no, still. I think I prefer to get married. So
Yeah. It's got to come first. It has to
that's
come first.
exactly. Some things, you've got to commit to. Like so,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's got to be. It's got to be. But that I'm very much looking forward to that because I did really enjoy in the first Ahsoka series how we got them Clone Wars flashbacks and we got the world between worlds and all of that stuff. I'm really excited to see where they go with that because I think that the I really love Anakin and Ahsoka's relationship, and I want to just see now that they've sort of peeped into the world between worlds, and they've had that another interaction again. I feel like there's so much more they can do with that, and they can go so much further and deeper with it. I'm really excited for Ahsoka season two.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Mm, mm.
Jack, on your TikTok, you do a lot of Star Wars hot takes.
Yeah.
Let us hit you with some Star Wars hot takes.
Okay. Cool. Wicked.
Danny, if you wanna, or will I start?
You start
Okay,
because
I'll go
got
for an
it.
easy one.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but you
Do you
might.
want me to? Do you want me to react to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's nowhere near close.
Here's an easy one, but don't think you'll
Nowhere
agree.
close. All right.
Star
Fair enough.
Wars
Like I say,
Rebels
like I'm
is
a
better than Star
fan of
Wars
like
Clone
Clone
Wars.
Wars and stuff, so
Never.
That show is
Never.
sort of like the perfect balance for me because you have like Zeb and
Mhm.
Never for me.
um,
Not
Hayden,
even
even though
close.
he
I do
is
like
a
Rebels.
Jedi, he sort of has that swagger.
Yeah,
And then just
definitely.
Ezra, I fucking love Ezra. Is like I can't wait to see more of him in season two of Ahsoka, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot they can do with him as well because we've like had so much. We've seen so much of him in Rebels. Like, I'm kind of thinking now, like, what are you going to do with him in live action? Because there's a lot you can do with him, and obviously he's at a point in his life now where it's like, what is he up to? What's he like? Because he was obviously gone for so long. So I am interested in seeing that. But yeah, on the hot take, I wouldn't agree with that one, but that's okay.
I think for me, I do think Clone Wars is the better show, probably because just more of it to take in and great
Mm,
moments. But one of the best moments in Star Wars in general is in Rebels, and it's that final duel between Kenobi and Maul, and just
mm,
that change of stance that Obi-Wan does from
yeah,
his Kenobi to his Qui-Gon to then striking Maul down. It's just it's peak Star Wars,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so so
yeah.
so good. Right, my hot take is, and I was kind of thinking of this one when I watched the prequels again over Christmas with my fiance because she'd never seen them before. She'd seen the original trilogy and sequel trilogy, but never watched the prequel. Didn't grow up with the prequels.
Mm,
But we were watching Revenge of the Sith, and I was just thinking when that moment where Anakin goes to Mace and is like, Palpatine's the Sith Lord. I'm coming to you. I need to tell you if Mace Windu had just said, "Thanks for telling me, Monim will get him," Mace
Hmm.
Windu obviously doesn't have faith in him that he is the chosen one.
Yeah.
But if he just in that moment believed and said, "Right, come on, and we'll deal with it together," we wouldn't have
Yeah.
Vader.
I think that I do agree with that definitely to a certain extent. And I think that if he did that, there would also be an opportunity for Anakin to be honest with him about what he thought was going on, that he thought Padme was obviously in danger and was going to die, and it could have ended differently. I definitely do think, and I also think as well that Yoda gave him the worst advice, and I know that it's the advice of the Jedi, but I think that Yoda gives him the worst advice in the entire world in that moment where he goes to him in the temple, and he comes to him and says, basically, just don't worry about it, just let it happen, mate. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Just dreams. Ignore him.
yeah,
Mm.
just ignore him. But yeah, I definitely do think you're right. If he put a bit of faith in him there, and even if he said to him, "Come with me and we do it together," I think that could have definitely 100% changed things.
Yeah. Do you
Absolutely.
think Mace Windu would have, though, upon hearing that Anakin was secretly married, he would have just like sliced into Anakin, been like, "Nah, that's not a Jedi thing." Yeah,
Maybe, yeah. It's a hard one, isn't it? It is a hard one
because
because I
he's
think with
Mace is so diehard. Like he's a
yeah,
diehard Jedi. He don't fuck around.
he's a diehard Jedi. I really love Mace Windu. I love the fact that there's that side to him where like he is. I really feel he's like in his own league in the Jedi. Not just because he's got a different lightsaber, but because he uses Vapard and he's like he's direct. He's like the Jedi sort of dark side kind of member, isn't he? It's like he's allowed to tap into things a little bit more because they know that he's so solid and they know that he's so about it. So I don't know. I think you're probably right that he would turn around and go, "You can't do that."
Mhm.
So what are you going to do? But I think that you never know. You never know. He might have embraced him. But
Mm.
what do you guys think about the possibility of him still being alive?
Adam, would you like to
I
start?
I
Yeah.
stand by this that he is alive, and I would like to see a Book of Boba Fett season 2 with
Mm,
a one-handed, aged in Mace Windu sort of reconciling with Boba, because Boba obviously is a bit of a changed man now, but he did watch his father get decapitated in front of him,
yeah.
and you sort of don't really let that go. So,
Mm,
and it's just for it to be Samuel Jackson too, who is absolutely willing to come back for Star Wars.
hmm.
I think it would be a crime not to. Like, out of all of the stuff people complain about in Star Wars, like it's not or beyond the realm of belief to be like he lived.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would actually really love to see that, to be honest with you. And I think that it would be very interesting to see, like, because as I think of Mace Windu, I can't imagine him being in hiding.
Hmm.
But if they obviously if they are, he would have had to have been in hiding, and they're going to have to explain that. And I feel like you'd see a whole nother side to him, similar to like Obi-Wan. He's in hiding. He's not the man who he used to be. What are they? Where is Mace Windu after that happened? And what condition is he in? How is his connection to the Force? Where is he? I think they could tell a really interesting story there. I would like to see that definitely.
I will only accept it if Mace Windu is portrayed by hologram Tupac. Just saying.
Yeah,
Mm.
possible.
Do you think Mace Windu would have been a better character had he been played by Tupac if Tupac hadn't been shot and was cast as was sort of in process at
Mm.
that time?
No, I don't think so. Personally, I love Samuel Jackson um, as Mace Windu. Although I think Tupac was a good actor, I think that Samuel Jackson is just perfect for the character, and I think the quiet sort of confidence that he has. Like I feel like his confidence is like sky high, but he's sort of almost a bit reserved about it, isn't he? And it's just like that he's a very serious man, and you sort of don't want to cross him. I feel like Samuel Jackson really brings that to the character. Interestingly enough, as well, I've actually never gone around there to say hello to the guy, but where my girlfriend lives, his stunt double lives literally right around the corner. So she lives right
Nice.
around the corner from Mace Windu's stunt double.
And if you haven't been around, to be like, "Can I have an autograph,
No, it's
please?"
because he has like a gate in front of his house and he's got like a really nice garden. And I don't just want to like pop my head over and go, "Excuse me, mate." Yeah, hi. But if
Yeah.
I ever see him, then I'll wave at him. But I've not actually seen him out yet.
Your time will come. Your
Hmm.
time will come.
Yeah,
Let me
it will
hit you with
come.
another hot take. Um, in 1977, Star Wars was released, and
Hmm.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is wearing robes, these beige
Hmm.
robes that he wore. Then, when the prequels came out, every Jedi since has worn those exact same type of robes. Now, to
Hmm.
me, he wore those robes because he was trying to blend in on Tatooine. But
Yeah,
now that the prequels came along, they sort of canonized that that is the uniform of the Jedi.
yeah.
I don't like it.
I do actually understand exactly what you mean there. I know I've never like heard anyone say that or even thought about that before, but that makes absolute perfect sense because you're trying to blend in away from the Empire and you're dressed as a Jedi.
Mhm.
So that actually makes perfect sense, to be honest with you. Yeah, I fully agree with you there. That is a bit stupid.
Danny?
I agree, but also I agree with that sense. Yeah, like why still dress as a Jedi when you're trying to blend in and hide? But I do think that there's like to understand where the costume influences come from and this idea of monks, but then also samurai with the tabards and the obis and all that stuff. So yeah, I think there's kind of it's silly that Obi-Wan continued to wear his Jedi gear whilst hiding, but the costume design and the world building of Star Wars, I'm like, nah, I love Jedi. Plus, I love dressing up as a Jedi, so I'm not going to be slabbering about it. I do love. I seen recently that it was supposedly Kathleen Kennedy's idea to brighten up the costumes, the Jedi costumes for Acolyte,
Mhm.
because she
Yeah.
was like, when you look at the toy aisle, not that there's many Star Wars toys really in toy aisles anymore, but that's a completely different rant to have. But
Mm,
the figures were always just beige and brown, whereas with Acolyte you kind of got those lovely yellows and darker
yeah.
tones of brown, and yeah, it's just
Hmm.
a nicer selection of color. But again, of course, because it's a different choice than the standard fare for Star Wars, a lot of fans were like, "Yeah, we don't like it." And but I was like, no, I
Yeah.
like to see. I really like the brighter yellows and stuff that we see in some of the greens that were in those costumes. I thought it was a nice variation, and especially with the High Republic books and comics and all that came out, to see those variations in the tunics and the robes and the lightsabers. I think it's nice to have variety, especially when you've got a fandom who loves to dress up so much. It's given them more options for their
Mhm.
costumes too.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
don't get
absolutely.
me don't get me wrong. I love the Jedi outfits. I love, the whole aspect of it. It's just that sort of um now we can say, "Oh, he was still wearing the same outfit," but it's a thing that sticks with me for every franchise, no matter what it is, where it's like um say they did a sequel to Back to the Future. It's like at one point Marty McFly is going to turn up with the fucking jacket on and the because just so people be like, that's him, that's Marty McFly, and it's just
Mm,
like every sort of franchise movie has that. Like it's in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, I think it is, where Jack Sparrow explains is like history. And he's like, on that day, everybody on the ship gave me one piece of their costume. He gave me his hat and he gave me his sword, and I wore that every day for the rest of my life. And it's like, fuck
mm.
off. Shush. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
people wear different clothes.
Do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi? Here's the hot take: Obi-Wan Kenobi stinks.
Yeah.
He's just
Hmm.
by the same object. No, right here. Here's a question for you, Jack. Who is
Mm.
the stinkiest Star Wars character? Who do you
It's
think's
got
got
to
the
be
biggest hum?
it's got to be Jabba the Hutt, surely.
Hmm.
Got to be Jabba the Hutt, I would
I
say.
don't
Or
know.
I don't know his name, yeah, but in Force Awakens where Rey goes to get her meals, the
Oh,
matey boy behind the counter.
um,
I don't remember his name.
Unkar
Encore
Plutt.
Pluck?
Yeah,
Him. I
yeah.
reckon he's got a little
Simon
bit of a hum
Pegg.
to him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say actually Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt has a stinking mouth because he's eating the wee froggies. But I would
Mm.
say he's got like wee slave girls washing under his like mandities and stuff.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
I
he
think
might
he'll be
have
getting
like
washed down. Yeah.
he's got maintenance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's got people doing his cleaning for him. I bet you
Mm.
Chewbacca's got a bit of a stink to him.
Oh yeah, all the fur.
Hmm.
Because he's
Hmm.
probably and when he's going to the toilet, with dogs, he might have it in
Hmm.
the back of
Yeah.
him. It's stuck in the back of him, maybe
Yeah,
a
I
little bit.
imagine like Hoth when he was coming in from the snow and the wet, and then he's got that wet
Yeah,
dog
like
smell
a
and
wet
all.
dog. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I bet you Chew's got a hum to him.
yeah. Maybe
Here's
Sebulba as well. He might have a bit of a hum
hmm.
to him.
Do you think Sebulba would be stinky? No, again, he looks well kept. Sure, is he not
Or
getting a
maybe, yeah, he's got,
manicure?
yeah,
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 those
yeah.
Twi'leks are looking after him.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
true. Yeah, I think you might be right with Chewbacca actually, because the all that fur and he's
He's
in and
getting
out of hyperspace. He's gonna
grease
stink a bit.
when he's doing the maintenance on the Falcon, all that grease getting in his fur and stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's
But
Hmm.
true. He's gonna absolutely harm for
but
sure. How do you feel about the Acolyte? What are your opinions on it?
Adam?
it's it's a show of two halves where I like a lot of the Jedi stuff.
Mm.
I basically like everything apart from the twin storyline. I feel
Yeah,
like halfway through the show when the twins like swap places and then they're explained to be like one person, it sort of loses itself in the terms of like, oh, she cuts her hair and then she just feels evil. It's sort of
yeah,
wishy-washy, but like the actual production of the show and the characters, um, like Master Soul is fucking badass. Like there's and
mm,
like the Stranger is a great character, and then if they were to involve that into the Knights of Ren and stuff would have been incredible, and Plagueis would have been incredible. So it definitely was like, you sometimes you have to give a show more than one season to sort of breathe. Like if you only had one season of the Clone Wars, you would have been like, well, I was okay as the one,
yeah,
you know.
mm,
So I really dug it, but if it had at least another season, I think I would have loved it.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Adam on that. And I think it's some of the best fight choreography we've seen
Oh
since
yeah.
Phantom Menace. You know,
Mm,
it's all, it's martial arts and lightsaber fighting, and just it had some of those real like moments of combat that genuinely made me be like at the screen,
yeah,
when he pulls out his like little canto
yeah.
blade and
Bam,
just
bam, bam, bam. Yeah,
into your chest. I was like, fuck, like this is
yeah,
so cool. And it was just,
yeah.
yeah, it's some of the finest on, not even just in Star Wars, but just on screen combat that we've seen in a long time. And
Mm,
yeah, I thought that was fantastic. And I want to see more of that from Star Wars. I want to see the full potential of the Jedi and of the Sith. And as Adam says, it just hasn't been given an opportunity to fully flex. We got
yeah.
the smallest amount of flex, and I would love, especially like one of my favorite characters kind of going into it was Kilnaka, the Wookiee
Mhm.
Jedi. I was like, fuck, a Wookiee
Yeah.
Jedi, like that's the
Yeah, I feel like
coolest thing I've ever heard of. And then
we
yeah,
didn't
we didn't
get a
get a
lot of
lot.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is such a shame.
I think the same, like the fight scenes in it, I thought were absolutely incredible. Like they're, and like you said, then they are some of the best that we've ever got. And I think that, like, I wasn't massively into the storyline. I liked the Stranger storyline. I didn't love the Twins storyline, same as you, Adam. I wasn't massively into it. I thought that the whole them being born from the Force, I thought like we don't really need to do that. Like we can leave that to it just being Anakin. Um, and I feel there was a lot of things in it that I didn't love, but the fighting in it, I thought, wow, like the duels were incredible, and also the everything with the stranger and how he's just absolutely smashing about 12 Jedi out of nowhere. Like I really personally love to see that, and I think that, like you said, like if they were, I'm not saying like they need to do another season, they need to do another season, but if they can take some of what they did there, like the really good fighting and introducing some of them other characters, like if they're going to introduce Plagueis and the Knights of Ren and stuff, I think there's great stories to tell there. But I'd really love to see the fighting and them show us some of the old Republic, because that's something that I don't know massively about. I didn't play the games when I was younger. Um, but it's something that I've been learning about like over like the last like couple of years, and I think there's a lot of really cool characters that you could do a lot of cool stuff, and like the cutscenes that we get. I'm sure you've seen them on TikTok as well, of the old Republic era, of them like of Malgus like smashing through into the Jedi Temple with all the Sith and stuff like that. Like, if they can do some stuff in live action with crazy fights like that, I think they're really onto a winner there. I think the fighting was amazing in the Acolyte.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Mm,
great as well because you mentioned before about being such a fan of like Dathomir and the Night Sisters, and I think it's interesting that the Acolyte kind of gives us another sect of Force users and a Force religion essentially that's not the Night Sisters but sort of similar.
mm,
And I think it would have been Would it have been better had it just been Night Sisters? Had we just got Night
Yeah,
Sisters rather than this kind of variation of Night Sister that we got in Acolyte, and then explore that further? It's an interesting concept, just maybe not the most well executed.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I don't think it was. I think it got a lot more hate than it deserved, to be honest with you.
mhm.
And I think people really decided they didn't like it straight away. And once they'd heard things before, I know people were saying it was too woke and this and that and everything. I think that people decided straight away, I don't like this, and it doesn't matter what happens in it. I already don't like it, and they got slammed straight away. So I don't think it was perfect, but I think there was a lot of good in it as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it was released at the height of the YouTube sort of gang of haters.
Mm,
Um, and then once those like press interviews came out of like the cast joking about R2D2 and C3PO being gay, and it's like they're
yeah.
joking. Like you could
Mm,
like it becomes they take the thing so out of context that it's not even an issue, but they just make it
yeah.
an issue because obviously it makes them money and that's what they fucking want.
Yeah.
Um,
I think a lot of
whereas
people as well, they don't, I think a lot of people don't actually like Star Wars. I think they do, but they don't because
yeah.
they want to hate on everything. It makes me think when sometimes I think like you can't like Star Wars. You can't because you hate everything that they put out. It doesn't matter what they do. You hate it. So I think that there's a lot of unnecessarily hate out there for stuff.
Mhm. Well, there's the Super Bowl Mandalorian Grogu like trailer
Mm,
thing, 30 seconds
yeah.
long. Literally 12 hours later, I seen one of the usuals. I had a 30-minute video on it, and you're like, the teaser was a parody of old Budweiser adverts that
Yeah.
lasted less than 30 seconds, and you've made like 100 times longer a video being like, well, you're not promoting. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to watch it anyway, and if you are going to watch it, you're not going to say you liked it. So,
What's the point? Yeah,
mm,
what honestly, what is the point? And it's I think I don't know, this is actually a little bit more of an interesting question. What out of the three that we know that are coming out, I heard someone say this the other day. So Maul, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian, what tier wise, what are you most excited for?
I would say Ahsoka number one because it just the possibilities, and it
Mm,
also it does tickle that like it has my favorite characters in it. Like it's like Ahsoka is basically another season of Rebels.
yeah.
Um, but then again, Mando has Seb, so
Mm,
I would say Ahsoka, Mando, Maul,
hmm
but the Maul stuff again, I don't know much about. But the character himself, the character of Maul himself, I basically know his whole story.
hmm
So there'll be some fun, interesting things, but the Mando movie will be a fun romp. And then we
hmm
don't know a lot about it either, so there might be stuff in it that we haven't seen. And we talked to Brendan Wayne, who plays the Mandalorian, and he says, look, there's stuff they're not going to show in the trailer because they want people to talk about it because it's going to blow minds. Um,
Yeah.
and then the Ahsoka show, we seen the leaked sort of concept trailer,
hmm
with like Chopper with a minigun, and I'm like, that tickles my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mandalorian and Grogu first because that trailer just like made me so excited and so happy to see Mando again and Grogu, but also to see Zeb, to see Sigourney Weaver, to see an Amana Man. There was so much to
Mm,
it, and Road to the Hut as well. There was so much that I just got excited for, and to see it as well. I went to see the most recent Avatar movie in 3D in IMAX, and to see that trailer in IMAX 3D was just like, oh, I'm
it's
buzzing. I'm so
crazy.
excited. And then I'd probably go Maul because again, love Darth Maul. I love animation. I just love animation as an art form. And I'm so fascinated that we're finally getting something that kind of bridges that gap between Clone Wars and Solo. Because whenever we
Mm,
get that appearance of Darth Maul in Solo, I was like, fuck, Crime Lord Darth Maul. Wow. And was just the
yeah.
idea of Crime Lord Darth Maul and getting to see that excited me so much, and I was like, right, when are we going to get this? And now we finally are, because that's by the time we get Maul and Rebels, he's lost all that. So
Yeah.
we're finally getting that gap filled. So I'm really excited for that. And then I would go with Ahsoka. Again, it's not that I'm not as excited for Ahsoka as I am those two other things, but if I have to rank them, I'll then go Ahsoka. And you know what? I'm actually really excited to see how Baylan Skoll is developed in this series because it's a new
Yeah.
actor, and
hmm
what is he going to bring that is different from um was it Ray Stephen
Mhm.
was the previous? Yeah.
Mhm.
What is it that Rory's going to bring that Ray maybe didn't?
Mhm.
I think Ray brought like a quiet darkness, whereas I think Rory's going to bring full Sith rage to the role,
Yeah.
and it'll just be really interesting to see that transition from one actor to another for a role that has become so loved by the fans. Like, Balin seems to have really kind of captured a lot of people's attention,
Mhm.
including mine. So I'm really excited to see that. And as you said, Jack, to see hopefully some more Clone Wars flashbacks excites me to no end. And
Mm.
then just to throw in a fourth, we'll talk about Sean Squeezy's Starfighter. I'm also excited for Starfighter too,
Yeah.
because again, as much as we kind of joke about being like, oh, Sean Levy, he's all right. From what the bits of information we've got, the photos, the on-set pictures we've seen, and to have Sean say that it's more in keeping with Return of the Jedi, that excites me,
Yeah.
so we'll throw Starfighter in there as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I haven't heard. I've heard little bits and pieces about Starfighter, but I'm interested to the fact that it's a completely new story, and
Mhm.
we can go from there. I think that my top is Maul. I'm really, really excited for Maul. He's one of my favorite characters and always has been. And like you said, like that gap in between sort of the end of the Clone Wars and where he is now, and the fact that the Empire is after him, I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm not sure. I know there's been sort of rumors of Darth Talon being involved and stuff like that. And I feel like we didn't really get too much of that from the trailer, but I'm excited to see where that goes because I think she seems like a very cool character, and it'd be interesting to see sort of where how he approaches having an apprentice again, because obviously he had Savage, didn't he? And Savage is dead, so I'd be interested to see how he sort of deals with that. And then I think Ahsoka would be second for me, just because of all the Clone Wars stuff. I'm really excited to see where they go with that, and I think that they can push a lot further with her story and where they're at. I think there's a lot they can do with that. And then I'm very excited for. I really do love Mandalorian. I'd probably put it out of them two just because I love them two a little bit more. I would put that third, but I'm very excited to be able to go to the cinema and see it. I think
Mhm.
that I'm really really excited about that, and I think that'll be really nice to be able to go and do. And I think it, like you said, I think it'll be a fun story, and it'll just be a sort of. I don't know how much it's going to play into their story that we've seen so far. I'm not actually sure where it's. I'm not sure if it's based after season three. Is it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's based after. So I'm not. I don't know exactly too much about where they're going to go with that story, but I'm excited to see what they do, and I think it's fun. And I'm excited to see where Grogu's at as well. Where is he at on his journey? And I feel like we're going to see him use the Force in a very crazy way out of nowhere, like we have before. And I think that's just going to be very interesting where they go with that. And then it would be Starfire. But I'm excited for all of them, to be honest with you. To be able to see Star Wars in the cinema again, I'm very very excited. And we went when Revenge of the Sith came out. I've actually got one of the movie posters from the cinema up there. Taylor's friend works in the cinema, and when we went to go and see the Phantom Menace re-release, I tried to get one then, and she couldn't get one for me. And then when Revenge of the Sith came out, she was like, "I have one for you," and that's my favorite movie ever. So I have that poster up there, and I love it so much. But we obviously, yeah, we went back to see the cinema then, and watch it, which was nice. I'm excited to see that again. And when we was there, I thought about this today when I was thinking about coming on. And it just made me realize like how I just love the fact of how Star Wars spans and how many people love it. I remember we were sat in the cinema and it was a light cinema and they had like these tables like next to us and you can get food and stuff. And there was these two lads that were just on the seats below us and they must have been like I reckon they were no more than like 15, 16. So I don't they obviously wasn't they might not have been yeah, they weren't wasn't alive when that came out. And they had brought one of them had an Obi-Wan figure with him and one of them had an Anakin figure with him and they just
Wow.
sat up next to each other on the table and I just thought that is what I love about Star Wars right there.
Mm.
It's so good. So I'm excited to go back to the cinema and watch that. I think it's going to be really really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
We're already planning to book our opening night IMAX tickets, and
Amazing.
go together and hold hands.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. Are you going to dress up?
Mm,
Maybe,
maybe.
Maybe.
perhaps.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the secret. Here's the secret plan is that we're working behind the scenes to sort of maybe get to the London premiere, if not London, Dublin. Because
Amazing.
somewhere, whoever will take us.
we'll want to
Yeah.
talk. We'll want to talk to Pedro Pascal. Um, and
Mm.
say, "You're gorgeous."
Yeah.
But that's the secret plan. If all fails, me and Danny will be there. IMAX opening day.
Mhm.
You know,
Amazing.
just holding each other. Let's see,
Tenderly.
in the car. We're not even going to the film. Just an excuse to get out of the house.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Well, hopefully you can get to the premiere. That'd be incredible.
Hmm. We're here with, TikTok's picking up. Uh, it's
Mate,
looks
yeah, I mean,
they might
if
call me your way
possible.
and say, Jack, do you wanna?
Hey, mate, if that happens, then yeah, absolutely. I don't know if that will, but that would be incredible. I did my best friend, he does social media. He's got a lot of followers, and when the Acolyte came out, he got invited to the premiere of it, and he took me with him. So I actually got to go to one of them. I wasn't invited, he was, but it didn't matter to me. I didn't give one shit. But so we got to see I think it was the first two episodes we watched, and the cast were there as well, and it was insane. It was incredible to see it, but I feel like the Mandalorian premiere would be amazing.
Mm,
I'm sure they would roll out all the stops for that. They'd be
mm,
great. There'd be Grogu everywhere. He'd be everywhere,
Oh yeah,
which
there'll
would be fun.
definitely there'll be a lot of, I would say, a lot of the Mando groups, the Mando mercs and stuff. There's going to be a lot of them are going to be very busy in May
mhm.
with the
Oh,
release of that movie at different events. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I know I said before about I don't feel like they do the merch like they used to, but I feel like with Mando, they might really pull out the stops. Grogu's going to be on absolutely everything. He's going to be on the side of a bus. He's going to be on the bus stop. He's going to be on the paving slabs. He's going to be everywhere. And I'm
Mhm.
excited for that. I hope he's everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll wrap it up there for today, Jack. Thank you very much for joining
No,
us.
thank you.
Speaking of merch, if anybody wants to check out the description below, you have your own shop, Sick2Death
Hmm.
Apparel,
Hmm.
where you can find out some sweet teas that might please our particular audience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they might
Um,
enjoy them.
but some very cool designs. There is one design me and Danny want to pitch to you though.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Um, the Qui-Gon Jinn from the 2003 Clone Wars
With the big
got ya.
with the
nose.
big
I'll get on it.
nose.
Yeah, and then it just needs the words "big man" written around it,
Mm, mm.
because that's how he's referred to in his hometown where I'm from. He's big
Yeah,
man.
well, I will make that just for you guys.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. But thank you so much for having me on, guys. It was really, really fun.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you. It
very
was a
much, Jack.
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do
Cheers, and have a wonderful evening.
you want to plug your wares,
Oh yeah,
Instagrams?
yeah. If you want to come and have a look at it, it's just Jackinhisroom
Mm,
on TikTok and on Instagram as well.
fantastic.
Amazing.
Danny, April
Yes,
events.
so Saturday the 18th of April in the Braid Arts Centre Ballymena, something strange and unusual is happening, a celebration of science fiction and horror. We will have special guests such as Hugh Ross from Nightbreed. Will also be screening one of his films. There will be many lovely traders, hopefully some tattoo artists, and also other exciting art exhibitions and displays for you to take in. So be sure to head over to thebraid.com for your tickets to Strange and Unusual.
And how much are those tickets, Danny?
They're only a tenner.
Jesus. All that fun. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but come down, I'll be there. Like I say all the time, I'll give you a big kiss and a pat on the head. But we'll also have merch from the podcasts. You get a nice sticker for free. Sometimes you just want a sticker. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
But thank you everybody for listening. Check us out on the Instagram and the YouTubes and wherever else you find your podcasts. We'll be back next week with more fun and shenanigans in the stars. But as always, we have friends everywhere. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Fear attracts the fearful, the strong, the weak, the innocent, the corrupt. Fear is my ally.